Buttonholes are actually quite simple to do on the Singer Confidence Quilter model 7469Q. You'll find that there is a buttonhole foot that comes with this machine. I'm going to show you how you can put the button in here and do the exact size of buttonholes to the size of button you have. You'll notice that there's more than one style of buttonhole down here on your stitch chart, so you can try out all these different styles. And here is something that we have done in one of our online courses, the Stitching Cosmos online course, is we actually took buttonholes and ran ribbon through them. So they can be used for not just garments, but I've also used buttonholes where I've needed to hang a shower curtain and those little rings need a place to go through the fabric. So you can do smaller buttonholes. And then actually what you can see here is I did this ribbon, but I actually took two ribbons and sewed it together to give me the width I needed with a decorative stitch. So I remember having to improvise because I didn't have wide enough yellow ribbon that I wanted for this project. So I made the ribbon wide enough and then just wove it through. So super fun. If you're interested in our Stitching Cosmos online course, that would definitely be something you can check out. We've got links below for you to view about 10 videos for free if you're interested. So buttonholes, we're going to just go right to the buttonhole button. Stitch number 95 is what comes up, and it's really ready to stitch. So all we need to do is next take the button that you want to actually make the buttonhole for. So, and that goes in the back. So where the red mark is here, that's the front, and then this little part will actually click, click, click open, and then you set the button in this area and kind of close it until it holds it in place. So that button's just going to hang out way back here when we put our foot on. And I'm going to just show you now, but as we get a little closer, I'll show you. There behind your needle threader, there's another little lever that needs to be pulled down, and it has kind of a sensor, and that's what's going to sense how far to make and travel to make the buttonhole this particular size. Let's start by taking off your current presser foot by pushing on the lever on the back and sliding it out to the side. And then just, if you need to, you can always lift this lever a little higher to help hop over the foot and then lower it down until it clicks in place. Now you're going to notice the first time that you stitch, your needle thread is going to be on top. And if that bothers you, you can feed it through that little opening. But I'll show you how I do it. A lot of times I'll just let that first buttonhole, my test one, stitch out, and then when I'm done, that thread will go naturally through the whole of the foot. The other thing that we talked about is this little lever. But before you do that, I want to show you about this red mark. Buttonholes are going to travel from your starting point and travel away from you. So if this is where you want your buttonhole to be, you might mark your fabric for its starting point. So when you slide it in here, you can position your needle right above the mark. Next, move the red line so it is equal to beside the needle. So you'll notice there's a little play here. So just slide that back until that is in the correct position and lower your foot down on the fabric. Now that lever, reach up behind your machine, this is the lever, and pull it down until it sits behind the white little lever here of the foot. It needs to be on the back side of it. And once that's all lined up, just step on your foot control and watch the buttonhole stitch out from start to finish. You're going to notice it's going to stitch straight away from you and then zigzag back down over that straight stitch. Then it'll stitch back again, and then stitch down the right side. Just keep your foot on the foot control until it comes to a complete stop. It puts the right amount of stitches at the tack and that locking stitch. Now I mentioned that thread that was over the top of the foot will naturally get pulled down. So I'm going to lift up the presser foot and then just slide that whole buttonhole out. Look at how pretty that is, and I'm going to cut my thread. So at this point, I'm going to open up that buttonhole, see if it is the right size. Again, I always test. I always have fabric behind my fabric or stabilizer. You can't just stitch it on a single layer. You you do need to have some type of support system underneath it. And if it was the correct one, you can put another starting point, line up your red mark to be even with the needle, and then lower your foot down and stitch another one. Now you do have those other buttonhole styles on this machine, and I hope you'll try all of them out, stitch them out so you know how different each of them looks. Next, let's go ahead and stitch a button on with the built-in stitch on this machine. That is stitch number 10. If this video has been helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make a comment if you love doing buttonholes, or if this has helped you realize that buttonholes are not hard to do. Check out all of the videos on the Singer Confidence Quilter with our links that you'll find in the description below.